Hello, wrestling fans. This is Sal Rough Cuts reporting in from Orlando, Florida with this edition of Rough Cuts. This Sunday, live on the WWE Network, is the annual Clash of Champions pay-per-view, live from the Amway Center with the Thunderdome, the fans that you've been watching on Raw and SmackDown for the last few weeks. Every title is on the line. That's what makes this pay-per-view very unique and interesting because there are no non-title matches. It's all title matches from the beginning to the end. There's no in-between. So the question is, which champions are going to keep their titles and which challengers will step up and take the title and move on to bigger and better things. Please be advised, these are my opinions only. They have nothing to do with Bill Apter, OneWrestling.com, or the WWE itself. So let's run down the card. Opening bout on the card that we have is Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. Very simply put here, Bobby Lashley will retain. He just got the title. I don't see how he will lose. Bobby Lashley will get a 1-2-3 pinfall. I don't expect it to last too long. I probably give it about maybe like a less than 7-minute match. Apollo will do a couple of high-risk maneuvers, but Bobby will catch him and likely will spear him, power slam him, and put the 1-2-3 on and end this match and look for a bigger, more decisive opponent, likely for Survivor Series going down the road. But Bobby Lashley will retain 1-2-3 over Apollo Crews. The Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford against Andre and Angel Garza for the Tag Team Championships. Question is how many times is Garza and Andre going to get a shot at this belt? I still don't see the Street Profits losing right now. I still think, the Raw Tag Team titles, the Street Profits, they're kind of fun to watch. I mean, they're kind of, cartoonish type of characters, but I just don't see Andre I don't see the titles changing hands right now. I think for all intents and purposes, they're going to hold the Street Profits for a while longer, and this will be the end of this rivalry for the time being. But I don't see the Raw titles changing hands. I'm going to go out and I'm going to say that Angel Garza will be the one that gets the pin in this matchup. Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn for the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. This could be very intriguing here. Remember, Sami never lost the title in the first place. Jeff's been having a feud with AJ, and now you have a ladder match thrown into this mix. Not a triple threat ladder match. So a lot can go either way here. Jeff, I understand, re-signed a 2 or 3 year deal, so he's not going anywhere. But the question is will Sami be able to get his belt back? That's going to be the question. And is this the time for him to do it? And that's what we're looking at here. I mean, I don't see AJ getting it in this matchup. The question will be, will Jeff lose the belt because him and AJ are just going to continue to clash each other and Sami's going to steal the victory and get his title back? And that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going with this. I'm going with that Jeff and AJ are going to be too preoccupied with each other, and Sami's going to find a way to climb that ladder and take his title back. That's what I see happening here. I believe Jeff will lose it and continue this feud with AJ, program in a singles non-title manner, and they'll blame each other for it. But Sami Zayn, I'm going to predict, is going to walk out with the Intercontinental Championship in this ladder match. And it is an upset in a way because it is Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles, but again, you also look at the fact that Sami never lost the title in the first place. So I think Sami will find a way to climb the ladder and take the title. Cesaro and Nakamura against the Lucha House Party. They got the belt. Cesaro and Nakamura. I don't see this tag title changing hands at all either. I like the Raw titles. I don't think it's going to happen. Cesaro's going to hang on to it they're going to hang on to it for a while, and Lucha House Party, they're going to put on a good match, a lot of high flying, a lot of good solid moves, but Cesaro will likely put the pinfall on one of them and move on. No chance of title changes hands here. You need I mean, they are a relevant team, Cesaro and Nakamura. Nothing against the Lucha House Party, but I mean, Cesaro, you need to give Cesaro some more relevancy and a longer title run with Nakamura. And I mean, if they lose the belts, then where do they go? I mean, there's really not much left. They're not going to get into an intercontinental title program, regardless of the outcome of the triple threat. So I don't see the title changing. I think it'll be a good match. I think it'll be high flying. I think it'll be fast paced, but the champions will retain. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler against the Riott Squad is coming up here for the Women's Tag Team Championship. I have this title changing hands. The WWE has completely lost the luster for the Women's Tag Team division, especially over the last couple of months. The Iconics are no more. They're not together. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are no more. There's no more Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose anymore. The teams have been falling apart at the seams. And who was really left? I wanted to see Shayna get a gold around her waist to show the world what she can do. But you've been seeing this conflict going on the same way with Bayley and Sasha, another team that's no longer together, but that was inevitable because they need to have their program. But you've seen a lot of teams break up, and now you're going to see another one because Shayna and Nia just can't work together, and Shayna needs to take care of Nia Jax so she can go after Asuka's title, which I think will be the next best case scenario. So the Riott Squad is going to take these titles. Now, however how you look at it, Nia Jax is going to take the pinfall. You're not going to let Shayna Baszler take the pinfall. That ain't going to happen. But Nia Jax is going to take the pinfall and blame Shayna at the end of the match. And they're going to clash, and they're going to have their singles program. And after it's over, Shayna's going to look down the road for Asuka. I can't see it any other way. The question is, though, is what happens with the Riott Squad once they take the titles? There aren't no any teams. This may be the way that the women's titles or the tag titles may be put on the back burner. I don't understand why. I don't understand all the breakup of all these teams. You keep the teams together so you can get the women on the programs so they can wrestle even in tag action. And you have them now breaking apart. I'd like to see the Riott Squad have a run, but where's the competition? You're going to have to put people together. And maybe that's what you do. You put people together from different brands, but again, you've already been breaking up teams. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I think we'll see a few defenses, but I think it's what's going to happen is way back in the 80s when they had the Jumping Bomb Angels had the titles and it got completely forgotten about. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think at some point, even with Ruby and Liv, the titles may not get defended for a while after this. Once they get the belt, they'll probably defend it on Raw or something really. But as the weeks and months go by, it's going to be a lost cause and a forgotten case. That's what I'm looking at. But for the show, yeah, I have Ruby and Liv taking the victory, and Nia and Shayna splitting up. Bayley against Nikki Cross for the Women's Tag Team Championship for SmackDown. Well, we all know where this is headed. Nikki hasn't been able to get the belt yet, and Bayley's waiting for Sasha because this is the inevitable program that we all wait to see. So Bayley will hit her finisher. She'll retain. She'll love her. You know, she loves that title more than anything else. I could see Sasha making an appearance when this is over and attacking Bayley from behind and leaving Bayley in the ring and continuing it. Nikki's just there to be on the program to face Bayley, but it's going to be Bayley and Sasha, and that's where we're headed at some point. So the women's title had to be defended on Clash of Champions, and why not Nikki Cross? She won the right to be there, but Nikki's not walking out with gold. This is setting up for Sasha and Bayley, no doubt about it. Roman Reigns with Heyman versus Jimmy USO. The family's going to face each other. Roman just got the belt. This is a no-brainer. 1, 2, 3. Roman's not losing any time in the near future. This is the WWE's boy here, so this is the big dog. No chance, zero chance Roman walks out a loser in this match. He is going to retain 1, 2, 3. He won't even need Heyman. A couple of spears, and it's going to be all over. I'm not saying Jay's not going to put on a good match. I'm not saying that, but Roman Reigns is. I mean, this is you know, wreck havoc and leave. I mean, this is what this is. This is what it's going to be. So, yes, Roman Reigns will retain. I don't think it'll be an exciting match, but in his family, I could see at the end of it that Roman will pick up Jay and then flatten him again to continue the heel persona, even though it's family, they might continue the program for a little bit. But again, for the match itself, Roman's going to reign supreme in the backyard. We have Asuka versus Zelina Vega for the singles women. It's a nice push for Zelina. Got to give her credit. Zelina getting a chance to go on and have a chance to be part of a main event with Asuka to get a title shot for herself. And I don't think she's going to look bad in the match. Asuka always makes her opponents look great no matter what. But Asuka is going to get the pinfall 1, 2, 3. But don't count out Zelina down the road for future championships and future title shots and what have you. She's going to look good. She's going to look fairly solid in this. And you can count on Asuka is going to make her look solid. So no shame in it. Asuka is the champion. I think it'll be Asuka versus Shayna at some point, and that's what we'll be leading to. So I'm looking forward to seeing that program. But again, Zelina will look good, but Asuka retains. We have an ambulance match, too. I believe that will close the show. Drew McIntyre is the champion against Randy Orton here. I have this title change in hands, and this will be the other one that goes. Randy Orton is going to put Drew McIntyre in the ambulance and walk out champion. My thing is that Edge will be back by the Rumble, win the Rumble, challenge Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and then no clash. Drew will eventually get the title back, boys and girls. He's going to get it. I'd like to see Edge and Drew at next year's SummerSlam with fans in attendance, and Edge doing the passing of the torch, because Drew does have plenty of years left on the radar, and Edge will be winding down, and that will be perfect fitting. They're not going to let Drew lose by pinfall, so you protect him by losing it in an ambulance match. Maybe a rematch in Hell in a Cell, but he's not going to look bad in the process. Randy Orton is just continuing to evolve and be Randy Orton the Viper, and Edge will be waiting in the wings at some point, and when he does, it'll be for the championship. And I think Randy deserves one more reign, one more decent reign, and there'll be plenty of time for Drew to shine. So there'll be no hard feelings with Drew losing in an ambulance match. Drew can take some time off, spend time with the family, and let this play out with Randy, and hopefully Edge will be back by the Rumble to set up WrestleMania, and that's what we're all banking on. Overall, like I said, I have a couple of titles changing hands. I think there's some obvious ones. The quality is what I'm looking forward to seeing, the quality of the matches themselves for the champions and the challenges. I want to see the quality, some high action, some near close falls. I want to see all that. I think we'll get it for the most part. I don't think it'll be, over the top, but I think it'll be fairly decent. I think we should see some exciting moments in it. I am intrigued by the women's tag team division, because I think it's just completely fallen off the charts, really, with all these teams breaking up. And if Liv and Ruby do get the belt, where are they going to go? Are we going to see teams coming along? And that's what I want to see. I want to see what's going to happen with that. I want to see where Asuka goes with Shayna Baszler. That's going to be something that's going to be interesting as that program goes on. And of course, we're all waiting for Bayley and Sasha, and that will happen in its thing. But what about the division? I mean, I've been asked a lot this on Twitter. What about the women's division? I mean, even without the tag teams, I mean, there's been talk on Twitter. Is Ronda Rousey going to come back? And I'm going to say Ronda's going to come back. Ronda's another one. Ronda could be back. I'm going to predict by the Rumble. I really think Ronda could come back for the Rumble. I'd like to see her a part of it. There's still an outside chance that Tessa gets signed. So that would be intriguing itself. You could have Ronda and Tessa to really boost up that women's division. You'll have Bayley and Sasha feuding. You can elevate Shayna a little bit further. You have Rhea Ripley that maybe can come up as well. There's a lot of possibilities with the women's singles division, but what about the tag team division with all the breaking up of the tag teams? And then what happens with the singles push that you have going on with with Peyton Royce is getting a push. You know, there's so many questions. I want to see how that's going to fall. But I think overall, yeah, Ronda would need to come back because Ronda can have some programs with some of the talent. I want to see Tessa get signed and see her have some from programs. I want to see how Bayley and Sasha play out. So that's what I'm looking forward to. As far as the men, Randy and Edge are on a collision course, gang. Is Edge is on track to come back? That's what we need to see. Don't count out Drew down the road, but we want to see that. The question will be is who is going to be Roman Reigns' next major opponent? I mean, to really the big program for SmackDown. And right now, I'm curious to see who it's going to be. Could Jeff Hardy put on a match? I possibly, quite possibly. I don't. That could be intriguing. Roman and Jeff would be an interesting program. Um, you're not going to get Taker and Roman again. I would be the only way we get Taker and Roman Reigns would be in a cinematic match, and I don't think Roman Reigns is going to lose. And maybe you can have Roman and Taker do a cinematic match with. If Taker loses, he's officially retired for good at Mania next year. That could be a possibility. I wouldn't count that out at all altogether. But I'm really intrigued to see who is going to step up on the SmackDown roster. AJ Styles and Roman, AJ's been there. I don't think we're going to see that. It just may be Jeff Hardy for the time being until things get sorted out. So I'm interested to see. I'm not really sold on anybody right now. Maybe someone comes up from up from NXT. How about Adam Cole maybe comes up to SmackDown? You can push Adam Cole as a huge baby face and have him take on Roman Reigns at next year's WrestleMania. I would like to see that. That would actually be a very, very good matchup. I think that would be a perfect matchup for Roman Reigns after the first of the year. Maybe Adam Cole comes along, puts on a nice showing in the Rumble. Edge is going to want to face Randy. And maybe somehow at the Elimination Chamber, Adam Cole comes up and he gets to face Roman at Mania. That's a possibility. I'd like to maybe see that. You can push the bye-bye guy against Roman next year. I think that would be maybe make the most sense at this point. So overall, I'm going to say it's going to be around a B, mid-B type of program. So I hope you all enjoy the show. I hope everybody's staying safe. Please, everybody, wear your masks. Please do that. Please be safe. And remember, for this edition of Rough Cuts, may all your matches be a main event each and every single day. Till next time, this is Sal Rough Cuts reporting in from Orlando, Florida. Take care. Till next time.